Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another Supatease video, and you have made a very intelligent decision by clicking on this one here today. By the end of this video, you are going to know how to get the best PvP gear twice as fast as anybody else who has not watched this video. It's going to be very important. This is a method that is completely new to Dragonflight and has not been discovered basically until the season has started. So the first part of this that's going to be the most important is you're going to need to know where to go in order to get all of the best in slot PvP gear. So what you're going to need to take note is Valdrakken, the major city of Dragonflight. You can see myself on the map here. I'm standing on the staircase into the major city. We're going to be flying into this little cave right here, which for whatever reason doesn't have a name on it, so you wouldn't know that it really exists unless somebody told you. But we're going to be flying down into this little cave. And this is very important because this is where all the PvP vendors are, and this is where some new quest givers are that didn't come out until literally yesterday. And one of those quest givers is our buddy Kinu over here. Kinu is going to have a quest if you haven't picked it up already, like I have, and it's going to be the Sparks of Life, the Azure Span. This is going to be a weekly world PvP quest. You might think to yourself, you can get the best gear from world PvP? You can actually, in fact, get some of the best gear from World PvP. So at the start of every week, you're going to want to come into this little cave, the Gladiator's Refuge. You're going to want to speak to our boy Kinu. I don't know if he's supposed to be Keanu Reeves, maybe? It's like a play on that. K-E-N-U. Oh, we got a Tuskar Keanu Reeves here. Keanu Reeves. I don't know. Beyond the point. The most important reagent from this weekly quest is going to be the Trophy of Strife. It's going to be providing you, it looks like 8 a week, which is about one piece of epic gear a week. So you're not going to want to write this off. This also means that you're going to need to be farming bloody tokens. Now, bloody tokens are a new currency in Dragonflight. You're going to be able to get these from World PvP. So it's very important that you're engaging in the World PvP quests. You can see them marked on your map here with the cross swords. These are going to reward you bloody tokens. They're going to be in random zones every single day. There's one over here in the Nokuden Hold at the moment. You're going to want to go there because this is going to be where giving you bloody tokens to complete, but also this is going to be where the most amount of players are gathering for you to also slay players, which will also get you bloody tokens. And while you're flying around in the zone, there will be war supplies that can spawn randomly. They'll appear on your map with a little icon. There'll be a little voice chat prompt with a dragon talking to you, telling you, go fight for this box. You'll see a helicopter, go find a helicopter, fly down to the box, fight for the box. Hopefully you win it because you're going to get some bloody tokens and some bloody tokens for killing the players. So it is very important that while you're basically doing anything in the game, maybe sitting a really long solo queue, that you are flying around and actively doing world PvP while in those queues. Not only is it going to make those queues a lot more entertaining, I've had a lot of fun with world PvP and Dragonflight, but it's going to get you access to those bloody tokens. It's going to complete that weekly quest, and it's going to allow you to buy these pieces of gear for bloody tokens. You might be thinking, well, this is only blue gear. What can we do with this? Well, these pieces of blue gear can then be transferred over with this NPC here into epic pieces of gear. And these epic pieces of gear only scale 3 item levels lower than the conquest gear, which is like practically nothing considering the fact that you can get 2 pieces of gear a week. So the main thing you want to take into account when you're picking these world PvP pieces of gear is to cross compare them with the stats on the conquest vendor. So let's say the conquest vendor has a chest piece that doesn't have mastery verse. Let's say your class wants mastery verse, but it doesn't exist on the conquest vendor. It might exist here on the world PvP vendor, so you'd want to target that piece first. Any piece that doesn't have the desirable stats to your class, you can maybe find them here on the world PvP vendor. Get those ones first. I would also recommend getting the weapon first, mostly because the weapon is the most expensive conquest item, and this one you can get and spend no conquest. So you can get like 3 pieces of conquest main set gear, or 3 pieces of like the off pieces is what I'd recommend. The cloak, the neck, the belt. The pieces that aren't available here is what you'd want to aim to. So sorry, not the cloak, but rings and necklace, the jewelry, these aren't available here. Getting those first would be a good idea from your conquest vendor, and getting ones here that are desirable stats is going to be the preferred method. Meanwhile, while you focus over here on the conquest vendor, this is going to allow you to get the most amount of bang for your buck, right? So for example, there, once I finish this weekly quest, let's say I got the weapon. Now I've got a conquest weapon, basically the equivalent of it, right? It's literally just 3 item levels lower. Then we can go into our player versus player tab. See, I'm conquest cap with 1350. So that could allow me to buy like an off piece, 2 off pieces right away. I've got 3 pieces there just in the first week, right? Like you could be pretty much fully geared. I want to say in like 3.5 weeks, because the other part of this formula that is going to be very important to getting your best in slot gear is crafted gear. And that you may also be wondering, where do I do that? How do I do that? I've looked in the auction house. It's not there because it's something completely new to Dragonflight. And I've seen people in my stream, which is linked in the description down below, appear to be very confused in regards with where to go to get crafting gear. So we're going to exit the Gladiator Refuge. And once we've exited the Gladiator Refuge, we're just going to fly down to this another level. And then when we get down to that another level, you'll see that there's a crafting table and where we're going to be able to get this important crafting gear. Actually, maybe I'm even lost. I'm not lost. It's right down here. I know it's right down here. It's right down here. Okay, go left, not right, next time you leave the Gladiator Refuge. This is the crafting area. This is a very important area to get this gear, especially for PvP, because this is just getting you an instant 424 piece of gear. Like you're jumping up monstrous leaps of power almost immediately. So you can go in here. It functions like the auction house, and you're going to look for your armor type. So I'm leather, right? And what you're going to have to do is, depending on your class, you're going to have to scan all the pieces because it's different for every class, or every armor type at least. And for me, for example, this is the item that I'm going to want to be getting from the crafting table 100%. The Infurious Foot Wraps of Indemnity. All these pieces, they start with Infurious. You can see 424 item level, same as Conquest gear, best gear in the game. And it's also going to provide you 5% CC reduction. This is the most important crafted piece to get. The other crafted piece you can get is going to be something like a little bit of a different effect. It's random and depends on your class. So right here, I could get the helmet. It's going to give me 1% damage to people who attack me, but it's also 424. So if I got the helmet and the boots here, that's 2 pieces of epic gear. I'm really scaled really high. I get the world PvP weapon. That's 3 pieces of gear. And then I can go and I can get like 2 or 3. And then with next week's cap, like maybe 4 pieces of conquest gear. What is that? I'm at like 7 pieces of gear. I'm like, like you're going to be way ahead of everybody else. And this is why I'm sharing this with you, and why I think that this method that I'm going to now be implementing on my classes moving forward is going to just be getting me way ahead of the competition. I've been having a lot of fun. Dragonflight seems to be received really well across so many players at the moment. It's still the honeymoon phase, but with the fact that they're doing ongoing changes, targeting things that have been problematic in the past for PvP, which seemingly went, no, maybe it was changed a little bit, but not enough to really get a lot of action done in terms of the pacing of the game, that this could be the most fun season yet. So you definitely want to get in here. You want to be min-maxing this so that you can be performing your best, start working towards those rewards. There's a lot of stuff to work towards. I know for myself, I'm working towards, I want to get 2400 on all specs in solo queue. Or at least try to, and that even includes some of the specs that you might not think can make it. I'm going to be trying to do that on my stream. It's going to be a really fun challenge. So this type of method for gearing to get myself caught up on all those characters is going to be really important. If you're somebody who's really busy, doesn't have a lot of time to play, this is going to be the best way to condense your time so that you're not falling behind anybody else who might be a little bit more sweaty than you. And it's a really easy, casual way to do it. Just world PvP while you're queuing for stuff and have nothing to do anyways. That's going to be getting you that world PvP gear. Focus on that otherwise would be expensive conquest pieces from that vendor, or pieces that have those different stats. Obviously, don't get conquest pieces and don't get world PvP pieces that you could otherwise get as crafted. So I don't need to get a helmet, for example, on my druid, and I don't need to get boots. I can save those pieces, save the conquest, save the bloody tokens, save the trophies of strife for another piece so that I can get as much epic gear as possible. This is going to be super juice way to get some gear. I just wanted to let you all know. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts. How are you enjoying Dragonflight so far? Are you going to be implementing this method? Did you know about this beforehand? Because this is completely new to Dragonflight. These are new features. Really important to know this stuff. And some of this stuff is kind of hard to find, right? I couldn't find the World PvP vendor until somebody showed me, and I couldn't find the crafting table until somebody showed me. So thought that I would just translate information over to you so that you can get ahead of the competition. So thank you very much for watching the video, and I will catch you in the next one.